Thursday night basketball on the ACC Network Extra from Raleigh, North Carolina in the PNC Arena. It's the 3-0 NC State Wolfpack and the 1-1 Presbyterian Blue Hose. Welcome everybody to the PNC Arena. I'm Andrew Sanders alongside Chucky Brown. Glad to have you on board as well. Well, Chucky, as we look at this game, Presbyterian comes in as the underdog, no doubt about it. But that's something they're used to. They're actually the smallest Division I school in the country. What can they do tonight to stay in the game with NC State and spring the upset?
Well, the first thing they have to do is take care of the ball, handle the NC State pressure, and the second thing they're going to have to do is not give NC State second chance opportunities, because NC State has been really good when they miss a shot getting the ball and getting offensive rebounds.
So Presbyterian going to have to control the glass, take care of the basketball. How about NC State? It's been a good start to this season for Kevin Keats' Wolfpack. They're 3-0, and 4 guys coming off a career day against Bryant.
Yeah, those 4 guys, they're in a new system. They're still learning the system, and now that they're getting confidence in the system, that's when you have these career highs starting to pop up.
And it helps when you score 95 points, right? That can help pad the stats a little bit.
That helps a lot.
Now it's time to take a look at the Blue Hose starting lineup and keep an eye on 5'10 senior guard Devon Bell. He has set a career high in points in both games he's played so far this season. He's gone over 20 both times, and as you see this lineup, it's a smaller lineup. They're going 4 guards to try and contend with NC State's pressure. And here's a look at the Wolfpack lineup. Both Freemans, Johnson, Hunt, and Dorn coming off that 26-point performance. But we know NC State, they're going to play about 9 guys or so now that Braxton Beverly is cleared. And against Bryant, they turned the ball over 27 times. I should say they forced 27 turnovers, the most NC State had forced in 15 years, not since 2002. First possession for the Wolfpack. They go down low to Leonard Freeman. And he misses the lay-in. He had 20 points on Tuesday, a career high. And immediately right to the rack go the Blue Hose. And that's the young man who is starting really in place of Ruben Arroyo because they want to go small. Jaron Withers with the layup.
Yeah, Jaron Withers saw a nice crease in the defense right there. NC State had their back turned, and he attacked the glass.
This time Leonard Freeman does make the lay-in. And we're knotted up at 2. So that's twice we've seen Freeman get excellent position. Yeah,
well, that's good that, NC State, the last game, they started out shooting jump shots. Now they're going to start out attacking the paint, and that's good to get Leonard Freeman touches early.
Not only is NC State 3-0, but all 3 games have been by more than 20 points. And there is the first turnover, and the Blue Hose hope it's not the first of many.
Right. Well, that time it was a nice backdoor cut by Dillard, but the pass was a little off. But that's what you want to do against pressure defenses, is you want to come out and you want to go get that backdoor cut.
Markel Johnson, the sophomore point guard, hands off to Dorn. Working on Withers. He'll shoot over top of him. And he gets the mid-range shot to go. And Torin Dorn came into this game shooting near about 70%. That's his shot.
Yeah, that was a good shot that time. A one dribble pull-up. And that was actually good defense, but just better offense.
Reggie Dillard brings the ball up the court. Francois Lewis trying to drive on Freeman. Throws up a wild shot, no good. Boarded up by Al Freeman, the transfer from Baylor.
Yeah, good defense that time by Leonard Freeman, not giving any ground.
Dorn baseline to Freeman. It's too easy for NC State offensively right now.
Yeah, right now NC State is just attacking the paint. They're not settling for jump shots, and they're getting everything inside.
Really, with all those career highs and a travel called second turnover as Lewis shuffled the feet. Really the only thing that didn't go well for NC State on Tuesday night against Bryant, they were only 3 of 18 from the three-point line. And so you would think that the formula would be to do exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, well, normally you want to start the game and get the ball inside. You don't want to start out with those three-point shots. You want to start out and see the ball going in the basket, and that can develop more confidence for your outside shot.
First 3 of the game missed by Dorn. Fights for his own rebound, and he will be called for a foul. Loose ball foul on Dorn, his first.
Yeah, right here you see Torin Dorn take the shot and try to follow the shot, and that it was just a good box out and he picked up the offensive foul, or the over the back, or the push in the back, I should say.
Best way to beat this pressure is over the top. The Blue Hose do it there.
Over the top, and right here, NC State had a lapse in defense. But Presbyterian, they have a veteran team, and they're taking their time against this press. And the best way to beat those type of presses, like you said, is over the top, and that's exactly what they did.
Sam Hunt, little floater, and it curls out.
Yeah, NC State has to get back on defense because Presbyterian is doing the right thing. They're pushing when you have opportunities to push, and that time Presbyterian got behind the defense, but it was an unfortunate pass. The pass was just a little too long.
And that pressure, it speeds you up so much.
Yes.
It's not just steals. NC State had 11 on Tuesday, by the way. It's not just steals. It's oftentimes something like that where a pass is forced.
Right, a pass will get forced and you throw it a little quicker than you should have, because actually Presbyterian had a little time where he could have maybe held it for one more dribble.
Just saw the head coach of the Wolfpack, Kevin Keats, his first year. It's completely changed the style here. He said, we're going to be the best conditioned team in the country. They have to be to play this style, and so far, it's worked beautifully.
Yeah, it's worked beautifully. They're very well conditioned, and they've also done a good job at using bodies.
Leonard Freeman. Well, you know, the one thing about this pressure is sometimes it can lead to a situation like that, right? 2-on-1. You have to have a rim protector.
Yes.
I'd say Freeman protected it there.
Yeah, Freeman protected it there, and that's the big thing with the press is that you're going to get beat 2-on-1, and if you don't have guards that are able to pull up and they have to go to the basket, then you'll have plays like that where the shot gets blocked.
Lewis will get the roll.
Yeah, nice touch by the big fella. Just a nice little back cut and a little floater.
6'9" junior from Orlando. Al Freeman lost the handle. And last touched by number 12.
It looked like that time Youngner reached from behind him and may have hit the ball, so they're going to reverse that. Yeah, he reached behind Freeman and hit the ball.
That's what I saw as well, and I thought it must have said it came right off of Al Freeman.
Yeah, that's a good job of the officials talking about it, and they made the right call.
First sub for NC State as Leonard Freeman comes out. Omir Yurtseven into the ball game for the first time. Now, he had a rough night against Bryant, but you think that Presbyterian he matches up better with? Yeah,
he's got a guy. He's got, he can play against a guy that's 6'9" instead of playing against a guy that's 6'5". You know, it's a little tougher when you have to play against those smaller guys and you're 7 foot.
So seeing more of a true post player will allow him to shine.
Yeah, that'll allow him to shine a little bit better.
Well, Presbyterian has to burn a timeout. That's another thing, not just the turnovers, but this press. It'll make you burn up some timeouts, and Presbyterian already has to take one. So we'll head to break. Leonard Freeman doing work down low for the Wolfpack. Back from Raleigh, NC State with an early 10-6 lead. Andrew Sanders, Chucky Brown with you here. And, well, NC State isn't the only team with a first-year head coach. Presbyterian is led by Dustin Kearns. And how about this quote from a pretty well-known guy, just the head coach of the Boston Celtics, Brad Stevens. Known him for a long time, always been impressed with his work ethic, love of the game, and his desire to stretch himself as a coach. And, you know, the Blue Hose, they're excited about this guy.
Yeah, well, that's a good compliment to get from a very good coach that did well in college and is doing well in the pros as well.
Touchdown low. This is TT. Off the glass and good, and he gets a foul on Yurtseven. Armel TT, the 6'9" center from Fayetteville.
Yeah, that was a nice move that time by TT where he just took one little power dribble in, gave a drop step and a quick little fake, and Yurtseven bit on the fake and got himself out of position right here. As you see, drop step right here, nice little up fake, and Yurtseven kept his body going forward, and with the contact, he finished the shot.
He missed the layup, or pardon me, the free throw.
Yeah.
Did not miss the layup. Nice. And how about this? Markel Johnson continues to dish.
Yes, right there. Oh, just looking over the top, keeping his head up, and just being patient.
He had a career-high 11 assists on Tuesday. He had 9 in the first 2 games. He's already got 3 here tonight. Presbyterian really having to move the ball around here. An offensive rebound, TT. And back up and in.
Yeah, that time TT just had better position, and Presbyterian was really good about being very patient, not taking the first shot there. NC State had good rotation on defense, but it was better offense.
Ruben Arroyo, normally a starter, didn't get the start tonight because, again, the Blue Hose wanted to go small. He's guilty of a foul here on Torin Dorn.
Yeah, Presbyterian is able to match up a little bit on the front line size-wise with NC State. So it's really interesting to see if NC State is going to be able to get those same second chance opportunities that they got in the previous games.
Coach Keach subs out a couple of backcourt players, Sam Hunt and Markel Johnson coming in. Braxton Beverly and LeVar Batts. It's Freeman right off the inbounds pass.
Yeah, good play right there. Right there, they lined up 4 across the free throw line, and it's hard to defend that. And then one guy would just dive to the basket, and that time they did and got a layup.
You know, I know Presbyterian's turned it over a few times, but really they haven't had too much trouble getting it over the timeline.
Yeah, they haven't turned over like with the pressure on where NC State can turn the defense into offense. So their turnovers have been, you know, maybe a long pass here or there where they missed a guy. And right there, good breakdown of the defense by Presbyterian, and they were able to get a layup by Bell.
Dorn going the other way, can't knock it down. Yeah, Devon Bell over 20 points in both games so far. Batts running with him. Here's a 3 for Nelson off the back iron.
Yeah, good shot that time by Nelson. He was wide open, but not sure. The Presbyterian really hadn't done that all game, so they've been pretty patient. They got a pretty veteran team, so maybe they want to continue to work it around and take their time and get good shots because they've done a great job so far of handling the NC State pressure.
Braxton Beverly directing the Wolfpack offense. Got a nice little hand from the crowd as he checked in today. He's already become a fan favorite because of his situation with the NCAA. Cleared on Tuesday to play. Yurt 7 going to work. A little baby left hook.
Yeah, that's a better matchup for Yurt 7 where he play against little guys, they're beating him down low, and it's harder for him to get his base. He's playing against a bigger guy like Francois Lewis where he's able to bang, and he's going to bang and give him a little bit of resistance up top. So he was able to finish that jump hook that time. Nice shot by Yurt 7.
Foul went against LeVar Batts of NC State. Dorn out. Darius Hicks checks in. Again, he was one of the 4 who posted a career-high 10 points on Tuesday. Dillard, little sloppy.
Yeah.
And how about that move inside?
Yeah,
Montaigne Nelson.
Very patient move right there by Nelson. I really don't think Presbyterian, they want Dillard handing the ball, but, you know, he did a good job of bringing it up that time.
Well, how about the quick up, the second jump for Hicks?
Yes, well, that's where the better players are that can make that second jump, that really quick jump, and that's what Hicks did that time, following his shot and finishing.
Yeah, he was the first guy off the floor on the secondary effort, yeah. Well, you're right, both times.
Good screen. Good screen.
Presbyterian scoring the ball nicely. Thus far, they went over the century mark against Johnson. And Johnson is a D3 school. That kind of gives you an idea. I know the competition level isn't the same, but it gives you an idea they do want to get up and down. And so far, they've done that. They've scored the ball effectively as we get a look at LeVar Batts fouled on a jump shooter. Yeah,
well that time, you know, as Presbyterian, you probably don't want to foul a jump shooter. And in the scouting report, you probably know that LeVar Batts likes to get to the basket. So you probably, you know, don't want to foul him on a jump shot. But now he gets an opportunity to get some free throws and see the ball go in, and now he may make that jump shot the next time.
Gets him in a little rhythm here.
Yep.
Batts averaging 6 points a game. About 20 minutes through the first 3. Romeo Crouch with the basketball. Javante Milner, the leading scorer and rebounder from last year, is injured for Presbyterian. They think it's day-to-day. Wanted to go ahead and hold him out tonight. We don't think we'll see him. And so with their best player being out, certainly Coach Kern's going to a little deeper bench tonight.
Yeah. Well, when someone gets hurt, that's just an opportunity for someone else to step up and play. So now someone has to take advantage of the opportunity to get more minutes.
By the way, that foul was on LeVar Batts. That's his second. So he heads to the bench. Right now it's Johnson, Hunt, Hicks, Beverly, and you're at 7 on the floor for the Wolfpack.
Nice hawk. That's like a NBA hawk cut that time by Youngner from Presbyterian. He came off wide open on the hawk cut and got a nice little short jump shot on the baseline.
Johnson is fouled on the drive, wave off the basket. At the 11:41 mark here in the first half, it's just a 2-point game between NC State and Presbyterian. At the second media timeout, just a 2-point ball game between NC State and Presbyterian. And Chucky, you look at the stat sheet. Well, the Blue Hose are shooting almost 70%. They're 69%. It's not flukish. They're getting really good shots out there. Yeah, they're getting good shots, and they're setting back screens. And that last play is what we used to call it a hawk cut, where the guard will cut off of the big. And if the defensive guard does not get under that screen, you usually come off wide open, and that's exactly what happened. It was a nice shot by Presbyterian. Dorn walked.
Yeah, the Withers kid for Presbyterian is a really good defender. They put him on Torin Dorn to maybe try to slow him down. And Withers I think they said was their best defender.
Bell able to walk it up the court. Don't see that too often against an NC State defense. They don't make anything easy on you.
Yeah, he's a smaller, quicker guy, so you don't want to give him an opportunity to get by you and break your defense down.
Lewis is falling away there. Might have gotten shoved a little bit, but it's an air ball, and he'll hear about it from the fans. Markel Johnson. In rhythm, 18-footer is good.
In rhythm, you'll take that shot. You don't just want to come down and pull shots, but that time he got a chance to get his rhythm and took a nice shot and made it.
And really, they're not looking to Markel Johnson to really score at an elite level,
right?
But they're certainly looking at him to score more than he did last season.
Right, yeah, he'll get more minutes, so with more minutes will come more opportunities.
Younger gets the handoff, curls left, picks his dribble up. Only 5 on the shot clock. Bell nearly got tied up, and it's a breakaway for Freeman. He'll jam it.
Yeah, that's a nice steal. Active hands by Leonard Freeman. That's actually the first opportunity that NC State has had to get an easy basket off of their defensive pressure.
Such a difference between a live ball turnover and dead ball. And, it was going to be a dead ball turnover because the shot clock was going to go off.
Right.
Instead, it's 2 points the other way.
Right. That happened to work out better for NC State.
This is Younger. Right wing 3, splash.
Yeah, good pass that time. Going to the baseline, he was wide open, and they found him, and Youngner knocked it down.
Dorn right through the legs of Withers, and then maybe a little flop, at least in the eyes of the officials. Leonard Freeman scores, and he has double figures already, 10 points for number 1.
Yeah, you have to hold your ground a little bit better if you're Francois Lewis. They're not going to call the flopping unless Leonard buries that shoulder and hits him.
So how about this? He hadn't played in almost 2 years, and there's been an emphasis to dump the ball down low, get the big guys involved, especially with Malik Abu out to the early part of this year. They've thrown it to Freeman, and he's scoring the ball a lot.
Yeah, that's a good job by NC State to get the ball inside. Back in the day, they used to always say inside out first. You don't want to come out shooting jump shots. And NC State has done a good job of controlling the paint, getting mostly all of their points have been in the paint. So now those jump shots will start flowing later in the game.
After the jump ball, there's only 8 on the shot clock, and Younger didn't realize it. Throws up a prayer off the backboard. It's early in the season, right, and sometimes those kind of things happen. Dorn gets blocked. Second effort is good.
Yeah, way to stay with it by Dorn. It was a good block that time by TT, but Dorn stayed with it and was able to finish.
First time NC State has really opened up any kind of meaningful lead. 7 points. Presbyterian, you know, when you're shooting 70%, you can hang in the ball game, no doubt.
Yeah, you can hang in the game. And Presbyterian, like we talked about, not turning the ball, not making those live ball turnovers where NC State can have those good 10-0 spurts.
Arroyo's 3 is short. Another rebound for Dorn, who's an excellent rebounder for a guard. Freeman will step into 1.
Yeah, that's really the first 3 that we've seen like that. But that was he had a nice little rhythm there. The shot just didn't go down.
He was a dead-eye shooter in his 3 years at Baylor. Now Dillard will launch a 3, high arcing 3, cuts the net.
Yeah, Dillard is said to be their best player, and he really has yet to get going.
Blue Hose, 2 of 5 from the bonus sphere. Freeman, well, he missed the 3, put it on the floor this possession, and an offensive foul will send it the other way. And that will take us to break. NC State trying to turn up that defensive intensity. Leonard Freeman with the leak out.
Yeah, that time a good job with active hands by Leonard and way to dunk it on home.
Back from Raleigh, Andrew Sanders and Chucky Brown. This is the second all-time meeting between NC State and Presbyterian. Wolfpack winning the first meeting back on January 5th, 2008. And that game was not as free-flowing as this one. Wolfpack won that by a 50-43 score.
Wow, that was a low-scoring game, huh?
Out of the timeout,
yeah.
Here's a 3 for J.C. Younger, and just like that, it's a 1-point ball game.
Yeah, Younger has got some wide-open looks, so somebody needs to find him and be aware of him when he's on your side and run him off that three-point line.
Dorn penetrating. And Yurt 7 was fouled, and we'll see who got him. I think they're going to call Devon Bell.
Yeah, Presbyterian is playing really good, tough man-to-man defense, not really allowing a whole lot in the paint. And that time it was a reach by Bell, and Yurt 7 goes to the line. But Presbyterian is really playing some tough man-to-man defense and making NC State work on their half-court offense.
So that's his second foul on Bell, the Blue Hose leading scorer. Yurt 7 heading to the line. He's got excellent touch as a 7-footer. Really, for a player of any height, he knocked down a 3 against Bryant on Tuesday night. And you love his face-up game, don't you?
Yeah, I love his face-up game. Right now, he's not a back-to-the-basket guy right now, and that's a work in progress for him. But he'll get better at that as he gets stronger. He's still young, but now, you know, he could be like I'm an older guy, so I remember like a Jack Sikma. So I can see him doing like some Jack Sikma moves out there.
Beverly and Johnson fall down, and Presbyterian has the lead. It's Dillard with the tray.
Yeah, Dillard that time came off, and it was a mishap for NC State where their 2 players collided and fell, and he knocked down the shot. And Presbyterian is really a veteran team, so they're not intimidated at all.
TT rejects Beverly, and now it's numbers for the Blue Hose. Well, Euro step, and Nelson with the basket. Presbyterian, they have been impressive in this first half.
Yes, they've been impressive because they've taken care of the ball, and they've really limited NC State's second chance opportunity. It's been one and done down there.
Dorn will try a 3.
Yeah, a little bit more patience. NC State, a little bit more patient on that. Dorn was a little bit impatient by taking that shot. And here you see the drive by Beverly and the block by TT. Now you get in the open floor. Bell with a nice Euro step and a layup, a good finish on the end.
NC State, no field goals in the last 2:45 and counting. And like Tuesday night, they really haven't been able to knock down that 3-ball.
Yeah, they haven't shot the ball well, but they've done a good job at getting it inside, and they've gotten away from that. They need to get it inside more to Yurt 7 and play off of him.
Arroyo trying to kick it cross court. And here comes the Wolfpack after Johnson intercepted that pass. Hunt's 3 won't drop. And now a leak out. It's Younger.
Yeah, see, that's when you take quick shots, quick threes like that in transition, that's what it leads to layups on the other end. And you know, the good thing about a guy like a Sam Hunt is that he can get hot. But the bad thing is if he's not hot, he's still going to take that shot.
Boy, TT closed down on Dorn. And you can see right now Presbyterian sealing off the drives.
Yes.
There's a lid on the rim from outside. NC State is really struggling offensively. Johnson's pull-up 3 is no good. And again, one and done. TT with a strong board.
Yeah, Presbyterian is making everything tough for NC State. And right now, NC State is sort of settling for those outside shots. So you see Leonard Freeman getting up off the bench. Now you may see NC State start to go back inside with the ball.
Sam Hunt will be whistled for a hold. Presbyterian in the midst of a 7-0 run. They're 5 of 5. 5 for their last 5, I should say, from the field.
They've done a really good job, been very patient in the half court, and they're making shots.
J.C. Younger is fouled. He's already got 10 points, and this should be the 1-and-1.
Yeah, he came off a cut that time. Sam Hunt held him a little bit, and the referee saw it, and they called the foul.
This Presbyterian team, 5-25 last year. 1-17 in the Big South.
Yes, they are not used to winning, but you have a veteran group that wants to win. So, you know, this is coming to the end for them. So no one, when it's over for you, it's over. So they don't want it to be over. So you don't ever want that dream to end, because playing college basketball is a dream come true.
And every year is a new year, right?
Every year is a new year, but like you have seniors out there, next year they won't be there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? College is the best 4 years of your life, really.
They left that 5-win season from last year in the rearview mirror. Playing good ball here tonight. Johnson, well, he would have had yet another assist. Instead, Dillard will be called for the blocking foul.
Yeah, and there you have right there, Markell turns down the screener and gets the ball inside the paint that time, and Dillard was out of position and he got a foul. But that is where NC State needs to continue to attack if they want to get back in this game. I mean, the lead is not out of reach, but they have to continue to get the ball inside and get it in the paint and stay off the three-point line for now.
Sam Hunt driving aggressively there. He's a graduate transfer. He went to NCA&T out in Greensboro, North Carolina. His nickname is the Sniper. He can really shoot it.
Yeah, he's a sniper out there. He can really shoot the ball. So if he can get it going, if they can continue to pound it inside to Leonard Freeman, maybe create a double team, now you can create those open three-point shots. Then and you could get those shots in rhythm on an inside-out pass.
Yeah, they need him to step up. 3 of 18 Tuesday night. They're 0 for 5 from three-point range here tonight. 5-point lead for the Blue Hose, and here comes the pressure. Dillard picked up his dribble in a tough spot. Had it knocked away, and it worked out well for him. He's still moving with it, and he scores. Yeah,
Dillard was very patient that time. He got himself in a little bit of trouble out here, but an NC State player knocked the ball down, and he was smart enough to realize that he could dribble the ball again and just went to the basket and was very patient.
Francois Lewis guilty of the foul, and so this will be the 1-and-1 for NC State.
Yeah, that time usually, like Markell did the smart thing. When you see a big come out there too far, the guards usually run right into him, and more than likely you'll get that foul called.
And he missed the free throw. 7-point lead. The Blue Hose 16 of 23 from the floor. That's 70%.
Right, yeah, NC State is going to have to do something to slow them down, but NC State can't afford to miss free throws and things of that nature, and they can't afford to let a Presbyterian score with the clock stop getting free throws.
Lewis dragged his pivot foot, and that traveling violation will take us to our next break. But the Blue Hose on the road shooting 70%. They've got it going. Dillard and Younger leading the way. At the 3:44 mark of the first half, Presbyterian has a 7-point lead on the road. Coach Keats looking on. And, well, Chucky, what do you think he said to them during this last timeout? Because at the top of the show, when I asked you how could Presbyterian stay tough,
right,
maybe pull the upset, they're following that formula exactly.
Right. Well, he's probably telling his team that we got to continue to get the ball inside and try to play off of our bigs, and also on the defensive end, we have to contest shots. We have to get out. We have to play. We have to talk better on defense. It's not a whole lot of talking going on out there. A lot better talking on defense and a lot more help and get to these shooters and not have them get taking wide open shots.
Have you been impressed with Coach Kern's team and how they've been well coached on breaking that pressure so far?
Yes, I'm pretty impressed with them. They have a veteran group, like I said before, and they're not going to be rattled at all by seeing, NC State on the jersey. That time they had a turnover, a live ball turnover, and now good play that time by Freeman going to the basket, and what happens, they get a foul. Now he goes to the line for an opportunity to make 2 shots.
J.C. Younger trying to draw the charge after he threw the ball away. Freeman, nice overplay.
Yeah, well, that's a bad angle right there by Younger. He should have taken the ball over and gotten a better angle to get the ball inside. So passing it from the top when you have a defender laying on the top, that pass would not go in. You would never see that pass unless you're going to throw a lob. That would be the only way to get that ball in there. But then if you throw the lob, you got an opportunity for weak side help. So just take it over there and bounce it in. So that time, Younger made a bad play.
Second free throw is good for Freeman. NC State dialing up the pressure. Johnson reaches in.
Yeah,
and
unfortunate.
Again, it's the bonus now.
Yeah. Unfortunate play. Markel may have hit his hand, but it was a foul call. Now, this is what you don't want. You don't want them to go to the line and not have to work on the other end to get baskets. So you don't want to give them free throw opportunities right now. And just an unfortunate play for NC State.
Jaron Withers is a senior from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Oh, yeah. So, he probably got people here coming to see him.
Yeah,
He's a North
homecoming.
Carolinian. Oh, yes, it's a homecoming. The school is in, Clinton, South Carolina.
Yep.
And, his people get a chance to come see him play, and they come see him play. Now, here, NC State can't have this happen, being down and give up a second chance opportunity.
Dillard with a strong drive, falling away. And Freeman will end the Blue Hose possession, and then he is fouled by Lewis, and will head the other way.
Yeah, NC State got lucky that time. When you're down 7, you don't want to give the team second chance opportunities with opportunity to go up 9 or 10. So NC State had a good break that time.
Final 3 minutes of this first half might just turn into a free throw shooting contest.
Yeah.
Freeman just went 1 for 2 from the stripe a moment ago. He'll get the first. Wolfpack has not had a field goal in the last 6 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, that's one thing about playing as a pressing team. You go through droughts, but usually, you go through those droughts. You usually maybe you're getting some stops on the other end. NC State has not been able to really stop Presbyterian on the other end.
They inbound it into the corner, but work it out of danger. And Nelson will pull it out. They'll get into their offense with about 20 on the shot clock.
If you're NC State, you kind of want to see TT and those big guys handling the ball because they haven't fared well when they've had to handle it.
An offensive rebound, his second chance, and that ball just bounced right to Withers. And I tell you what, Presbyterian, they've been relatively patient
Yes.
And now Nelson knocks down the triple.
Yeah, they were very patient that time. They got the second chance shot. They worked it around. They didn't take the first opportunity, and then they got a swing shot, three-pointer in rhythm.
Hunt's 16-footer is good. And you know, Coach Keats, even when Presbyterian went on this run, he didn't want to use a timeout. Do you think this is an early season opportunity that he wants to see his guys go ahead and play through this?
Oh, yeah. You want your teams to – you don't want to call a timeout every time you get in trouble. So you want your teams to play through certain things, and that's a way of growing as a team.
Withers with a hand in his face, off to the left as we near a minute to go. Dorn mid-range. Left it short.
Yeah, a little bit of a quick shot that time. You want to work it around a little bit. He had a rhythm, but it's just a matter of the time, the situation. You don't want to take that quick shot right then, especially when you're working your way back into the game.
Dillard to the rack. Freeman got a piece. TT regathers and scores it. 44 points for Presbyterian here in the first half.
Yeah, good strong move by Dillard that time. May have gotten fouled a little bit before the shot. The officials letting him play, and TT was just alert and was able to pick up the scraps that time.
Johnson shooting off the bounce, and you know what? That's a couple possessions in a row we've seen pretty much no passing from NC State. It was a Dorn quick shot, Johnson quick shot. The ball's not moving a whole lot right now.
Right, well, NC State has to be patient. They're down. Yeah, they're down, but they have to take care of things, especially on the defensive end. They have to get stops, and when they go down on offense, there's still a lot of time left. There's still a lot of possessions left. So take your time and make sure you take care of the ball, and you make sure that you're getting good shots.
So Presbyterian can hold. Last possession here. About 8 seconds left. When is Bell going to go? Tough shot, way off. And we will head to the halftime locker rooms with Presbyterian leading by 8. Not what many expected to see here tonight. Flat out, they were the much better team in the first half, Chucky.
Yeah, they were the much better team. They were the more patient team. NC State got off to a good start getting inside, but they got away from that. So Presbyterian, they've been able to handle the pressure, and they've been able to move the ball around, and they've been patient, and they haven't made, like we said, those live ball turnovers, which allow NC State to get easy baskets on the end. They've made NC State work for everything in the half court.
We'll be back in just a couple of minutes on the ACC Network Extra. Presbyterian out in front at the half. 44-36, our halftime score here in the PNC Arena. Hello, everybody. Andrew Sanders and Chucky Brown back with you here during the halftime break. Well, Chucky, fun stat, NC State is 60-1 all-time against Big South opponents. Presbyterian was picked dead last in the Big South preseason poll this year. They don't look like the last place team in the Big South.
No, they don't look like the last place team in the Big South at all. That's what happens when you have veteran players, though, too. So they haven't won many games since they've been there, but this is the last run for them. So, you know, they want to go out as best they can on top if they can, and that's why you can't pay attention to these rankings and stuff like that. You can't pay attention to that stuff.
So for NC State, this is really, I mean, remember, they're 3-0, all three of their wins by 20 points or more. This is really the first time that Coach Keats and his squad has been in trouble this year. What do you think that message is like inside that locker room right now?
Well, the message is, you know, we still have a lot of time.
Sure.
We have to take care of our shot selection. We have to get the ball back inside, and on the defensive end, we cannot allow them second chance opportunities. You know, now it's going to be a tough game because they've got a little confidence now. You know, they came in, two of their better players out, and they're still able to hang in there.
Yeah.
So now you better believe they think they can win. So now NC State has to do something to knock that chip off their shoulder.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights now from the first half. And really Presbyterian got off to a nice start, and it came down to really two players. J.C. Younger, I know, was very impressive here. He is knocking down a triple, and Reggie Dillard. And with the absence of Javante Milner tonight, Dillard, they think, is their best player. And so, two guys that they needed to play well did so in the first half.
Yeah, Younger got some wide open looks, and he knocked them down. And Dillard has just been, he's just been really court savvy out there and just really taking care of business out there.
For NC State, a guy that got going early, really the only guy to get going in the first half, Leonard Freeman. You see him doing it with the defense twice, the big block, the tip, dunk. He's got 10 points, but he needs more help.
Yeah, he needs more help, and also they need to continue to throw the ball inside the Leonard. They started the game just strictly going inside and playing off of Leonard Freeman and got away from that. So now they need to get back to that in order to get back into the game and get stops on the other end.
You get a look at the stats, and maybe a little surprising, Presbyterian, you said they needed to obviously take care of the ball, 7 turnovers. Not bad, especially against the pressure, but how about the rebounding stat? That really stands out to me, 18-11 in favor of the Blue Hose.
Yeah, coming into this game, you wouldn't have expected that. You would have expected Presbyterian to be the smaller team and that they would be getting out-rebounded, but they've been very physical on the defensive end, and they've actually out-rebounded State as far as offensive rebound goes. So they've just come in and just played hard, and they've just been, letting their hair down and letting everything hang out and just been playing. They've got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Well, we'll head to break. Got the drums going here in the PNC. Good halftime entertainment. We'll be back with a little more in just a minute. Presbyterian with an 8-point lead at the halftime break. We welcome you back to Raleigh, North Carolina, City of Oaks. Tableside, Andrew Sanders, Chucky Brown with you here. This is actually the first game of the Battle for Atlantis tournament that NC State will participate in. They're going to leave on Monday to start that tournament, play Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but this is more regional play. Okay. And so let's talk about that tournament a little bit here, Chucky, because it's a pretty good field. NC State's going to open up with Arizona and Sean Miller, so it's going to be a pretty big jump in competition. No doubt.
Yeah, that's going to be, right now Presbyterian is a good, they got good veteran guards, and that's kind of a good warm-up to get ready for Arizona, but you're going to start seeing some elite players now, players that are being scouted by NBA folks, and that'll be another good measuring stick to see where you possibly will finish within your conference.
And then, of course, Penn State after that in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. And so NC State definitely, obviously, they're trying to make a little comeback here at home. Coach Keats has said before, if you're going to be a pressing team, you have to be able to come from behind. Well, that'll be tested here in half number 2. Now, for Presbyterian, we touched on this a little bit earlier in the broadcast, but the Blue Hose were picked last in the Big South preseason poll. You get a look at this list. I know Liberty has already beaten Wake Forest, I believe, this year. Campbell was very good. They really pushed NC State in the quote-unquote secret scrimmage. So we know that Big South basketball is pretty good. Based on what we've seen tonight, are you a little surprised that Presbyterian is all the way down there at the bottom? Yeah,
I'm really surprised at that because of the veteran teams. Normally, when they're picking these, making these rankings before the season, usually they look at the team that has the more veteran players, and they usually rank them a little higher.
Sure.
So to see them ranked at the bottom of the Big South is very surprising to me.
All right, one more break here at halftime. When we come back, it'll be second half action between NC State and Presbyterian. Can the Blue Hose spring the upset? We'll find out in just a minute. Here at the start of the second half, it is an 8-point lead for the Blue Hose, or as many in attendance here would put it, it's an 8-point deficit for the Wolfpack. So now we'll see how they respond in the second half. And I think it'll be telling if they come out on fire or if it looks much like they did in the first half, both offensively and defensively, a lot to improve upon.
Yeah, well, the first thing they need to do is come out and start the second half like they started the game by getting the ball inside the Leonard Freeman. So we'll see if they do that.
Freeman comes to screen. Alaric Freeman rolling to the basket. And a pull-up from Dorn, in and out. And a second chance. Freeman scores, flexes his muscle a little bit. He's a leader on this team here, Chucky.
Yeah, he's a leader, and he's not really a vocal guy. He'll admit to that, but he leads by example, and sometimes that's the best way to lead is by example.
So it means a little more when he comes out and yells and says, let's go, and flexes a little bit.
And he comes out, he says, let's go, and then he's actually the one that's doing something. Now you have to feed off of his energy.
Sam Hunt just got called for his third foul as Bell was driving. So just like that, he'll have to head to the bench. Bats on the floor, the freshman guard.
Yep.
And a foul on Francois Lewis. That's his third foul.
Yeah, that was a good job by Bats staying connected to his man, or the offensive player, and Francois just hit him, moved a little bit on the screen and got the foul call.
Is that the secret? Just stay connected, and that way they can't sneak that screen in?
Stay connected, yep.
Well, you called for it. Feed the post. It goes inside, then out. A Bats three. Yeah, rattles out.
Yeah, that's a good shot. I mean, Bats is still working on his perimeter game, but that's a good shot for him. A nice rhythm three. He just missed it.
44-38. Francois, a long two. That's way short.
Yeah, he made those shots in the pregame, but when going from the pregame to the real game is a lot different.
Freeman can't get the roll. What a tip in by Torin Dorn with the left hand.
Yeah, now you see in the second half, NC State had two great second chance opportunities and took advantage of it. In the first half, they didn't have that many.
I think maybe Coach Keats said, hey, you guys are the bigger team. You have no business being out-rebounded.
Yep,
in the locker room.
Yep, you have to go to the glass, and the only way to have an opportunity to get a second chance rebound is if you go to the glass. Here you see Torin Dorn knifing in and getting his hand on the ball and just tapping it up, and a soft touch on the rim, and it went in.
LeVar Bats guilty of the foul. That's his third. The second team foul on NC State here in the second half. Withers directing traffic, marked by Johnson. 10 to shoot, slips it past to TT. Pump fake, big left hand, and he uses the glass.
Yeah, nice shot that time by TT. I really didn't know what he was going to do with it, but that's a perfect time to use the glass, and he did that.
Foul on TT is, again, the emphasis is certainly to get it in. The big Leonard Freeman, especially with Abdul Malik Abu out for an injury. You know, there was a lot of speculation in the local media that perhaps this would be the game that Malik Abu would be able to come back. Coach Keats has gone on record of saying he's not going to play until he's 100% healthy, and apparently not quite. He's, if he's 98%, I'm not going to play him.
Right. Well, that's a smart thing because you don't want him, sometimes as a player, you may feel good and you may not be all the way there, but you want to be out there with your buddies playing.
Sure.
And the smart thing to do for a coach, coaches know sometimes you have to keep players away from hurting themselves, and you don't want him to get out there, get injured, and then he'll be out for an even longer time.
Especially your senior year, you definitely want to be out there. Freeman now with 14 points. He's shooting 6 of 7 from the floor. NC State has cut the Presbyterian lead to 4. Here's Bell. He can really slash. Presbyterian has run the shot clock down a number of times in the first half. They're doing it again here in the second. Younger got into some trouble, and that's a backcourt.
Yeah, good job that time by Withers.
Sure.
Getting on that ball and making sure that NC State does not get an easy layup. So he'll take the backcourt violation in that particular situation, so NC State doesn't really get a live ball turnover where they get a layup at the end.
Get a dunk, get the crowd going as well.
Yeah, get the crowd. Keep the crowd out of it as long as you can.
It's the 9th turnover for Presbyterian. Johnson, pretty move, got up in the air, didn't know where to go with it, and he turns it over.
Yeah, that's the danger of jumping and already having your mind set on passing.
Bang, a 3 for Dillard, and Presbyterian continues the hot shooting.
Yeah, Dillard that time, wide open, rhythm 3, knocked it down. I don't believe he's missed a three-point shot tonight.
Well, as a team, Presbyterian 6 of 11 from downtown. Bats. Boy, that was awkward. And he'll be called for a walk.
Yeah, Bats that time got in a little too deep. Maybe get in there for a pull-up shot, but he got in there a little too deep. And TT is a good rim protector back there. Here you see Dillard pulling up for the 3 in transition. Nice rhythm shot, and he knocked it down.
Dillard breaking the pressure of Freeman, puts on the brakes, and he'll take a 3. Boy, if that had gone down, that Presbyterian bench would have gone nuts. Alley-oop, Torin Doran, 2-handed stuff.
Yeah, nice pass that time. Torin Doran, no one was guarding him. He was wide open. Nice lob pass. He finished it with a dunk.
Bats guarding Bell. He's got 3 fouls, remember. Presbyterian 6 threes. NC State has not made a 3 yet. They're 0 for 6. So the poor three-point shooting continues.
Yeah, the poor three-point shooting has continued, but NC State has to continue to get that ball inside.
Younger, pull up. You know, it didn't matter that they only made 3 threes on Tuesday night. They still scored 95 points, but the turnovers just haven't quite been there. And so if the threes aren't going down and the turnovers, you're not forcing the turnovers, it's a completely different ball game. Right.
Their last game against Bryant, they weren't making the threes, but they were getting those live ball turnovers where they were able to get a lot of layups on the other end. Here, everything that NC State has gotten in the half court, they've had to work for.
And credit Presbyterian. Freeman working hard. And I believe they called an offensive foul. Yes, they did. It is on Freeman. The signal was kind of in between. So don't count basket. It's an offensive foul. We've got to head to break. Torin Doran trying to pull NC State closer, but it's still a 5-point Presbyterian lead. Back here in Raleigh and up in the rafters of the PNC Arena, Coach Norm Sloan, 67-80 up there in the rafters. It's a pretty cool connection. He actually coached at Presbyterian before he was a national championship winning head coach at NC State from 51 to 55. Of course, the new coach for Presbyterian, Dustin Kearns, Kevin Keats, both a couple of first-year guys, both trying to win, obviously, conference championships. Who knows, maybe a national championship.
Right.
But that's a pretty cool connection, Norm Sloan.
Yeah, that is. I had no idea that, so you learn something new every day.
Before he was at NC State, and here's the turnover.
Yep.
He was at Presbyterian, three ACC championships, 70, 73, 74, and of course, that 73 team was undefeated.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Coach the great David Thompson.
Yeah, Tommy Burleson, David Thompson, yes, sir. The greatest of all time at NC State.
Doran in trouble under the basket. Finds Freeman. Little scoop shot is good. And a foul. He has been that guy tonight. You know, like you said, he's not a vocal leader.
No.
He is a lead by example.
Yep.
He's setting a good example.
Yep, Torin Doran that time with a nice drive. And Lenard Freeman just hanging around the front of the rim and able to finish with the contact. But, yeah, he's a guy that's going to lead by example. And like I said, those are sometimes your best leaders that lead by example.
Completes a three-point play, and it is a two-point ball game. You know, NC State has been a team of runs. I know basketball is, of course, a game of runs, but they have made huge runs in all 3 of their games. Haven't seen it from them tonight. Markel Johnson was pointing the other way. He won't get the call.
Yeah, they weren't able to. They have not been able to have that run yet, but they still have time, and right now they picked up the pressure. A little 2-man front right here. Before they were dropping back and giving the ball handler an opportunity to go one-on-one with the dribbler, and now they're not doing that.
Withers, he traveled. That happened right in front of us. I was blocked out, but I saw that it looked like he took an extra step.
Yeah, well, he got the ball right across the mid-court line, and now what NC State did was use that mid-court line as a defender because you can't go backwards. So they used it as a defender. He couldn't go backwards, and the trap was there, and no one was open.
Johnson dices through the lane. Again, they feed the post. It's a Johnson, corner 3, way off.
Yeah, good inside-out action that time by NC State. They did pass the ball to Leonard Freeman, and that was good.
You're starting to feel the momentum start to swing. The fans are getting a little more into it here as NC State's cut it to 2. We'll see if Presbyterian can continue the hot shooting and maintain this lead. Oh, what a reach in by Batts as he poked the ball away, and now Dorn intercepts it. Oh, bad pass to Johnson. But Freeman's wide open. And still they can't make a 3. Freeman is fouled. An offensive rebound. So NC State, I know they can't knock down a 3, but everything else is starting to pick up for them.
Yeah, the defense is starting to pick up. The turnovers are starting to pick up. And right there, Batts with good hands that time and knocked the ball away. And there was a live ball turnover. A little bit of a missed opportunity, but still NC State was able to get a foul on the play.
Dorn was thinking Johnson was going to throw one down on the alley-oop like he did.
Right.
We'll go to break. 2-point ball game in Raleigh. (49-47) our score at the 14:24 mark of the second half. With Chucky Brown, I'm Andrew Sanders. It's been a tight ball game here. And immediately out of the timeout, Markel Johnson is knocked over.
Yeah, Francois ran into him that time. Markel sold it a little bit, but he knocked him down and was able to draw the foul. And Francois now has 4 fouls and has to go sit down.
So that might prove to be a key foul there as it sends Francois to the bench.
Yeah, they've actually gotten a lot out of their bigs. I feel like TT has come in and done a good job. Francois has also done a really good job. So they've gotten a lot out of their bigs tonight.
TT showed on that screen. And Freeman, boy, Dorn, great hustle to fight for the ball. I believe we're going to have a jump ball.
Yeah, good job that time by Dorn to wrestle the ball away. But the jump ball now will go to Presbyterian because NC State started with the ball in the second half.
Boy, dangerous pass, but Arroyo saves it. Arroyo swarmed, and another turnover.
Good job that time by NC State.
Freeman with a deep 3. Still nothing going down. 0 for 9 from deep. Dorn muscling up. So, when you're not making shots, you have to muscle up on the offensive glass. And here's a good stat for you here, Chucky. Presbyterian had 7 turnovers in the first half, already 6 here in the first 6 minutes and change.
Yeah, well, they've not been taking care of the ball in the second half, and they've also allowed NC State second chance opportunities in the second half, and they got their lead by NC State not making jump shots, and Presbyterian was able to have them one and done and able to get the rebound and go run their offense. And now they might be in a little bit of trouble because TT is now just fouled out of the game.
And that kind of snuck up on us,
honestly.
Did.
Yeah, it did.
I had to double check. I'm looking over here to make sure. Yeah, they've got him for 5 fouls. I guess you don't just typically think of someone fouling out with 14 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah. You really don't.
So Francois on the bench with 4. TT's already out.
Yeah, so now you can look for, nobody in there is big enough to guard Leonard Freeman. So I look for Leonard to maybe dominate the glass a little bit more.
Sure. Dillard, dangerous pass, and Freeman comes up with a loose ball. Here's the look ahead. Dorn, what a catch and a finish. And NC State has the lead back.
Yes, NC State that time got good hands on the ball, and a nice pass that time by Freeman to Dorn, who got behind the defense right there. And here you see Presbyterian turning the ball over, and now those are live ball turnovers where NC State is able to get those lobs and layups in transition, and now they just get an and one in order to regain the lead here.
Dorn now into double figures for the Wolfpack. Remember, he had a career-high 26 points. Last time out on Tuesday. This is the first lead for NC State since the 7:03 mark in the first half.
Good job. NC State has switched up the press once again.
See if Presbyterian can keep their cool. So they've had the lead for about 14 minutes of game time. Dillard, spin cycle, nice move.
Yeah, they got it to their best player that time, and he was able to finish. Good play by Dillard.
Johnson, a little hesitation. Oh, and how did he miss it? He skied for that one. Bell looking the other way. Open three-pointer. It's J.C. Younger, no good. And there is the red shirt senior from D.C., Leonard Freeman. Pace is picking up here. Alaric Freeman scooped to the hoop. No, but he's fouled. It's a block underneath. And really, with Presbyterian, some of their bigs being in foul trouble, even more so, they have to just push the ball, make sure they get into the paint every possession, right?
Yeah, they have to make sure they get in the paint. They have to make sure they get good shots as well. That was a good shot that time by Presbyterian. Youngner is they're one of their best three-point shooters. So him missing a wide open three-point shot, you'll take that. So now you have, but when you take that shot out of the corner, now you got to get back on defense. And NC State took advantage of that, and in transition, Al Freeman was able to go to the basket and get bumped and get to the line now.
Leonard Freeman, Markel Johnson come out. Braxton Beverly, Omir Yurtseven come in. By the way, that foul was the third on Dillard.
Oh, wow.
So more foul trouble. It's really starting to mount for Presbyterian.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who from Presbyterian is going to step up and take the shots now, because Dillard wasn't afraid to take shots.
Nelson in trouble, had his pocket picked. It's LeVar Batts to Dorn.
Good job that time by NC State. Again, another live ball turnover, and this is where Presbyterian might be in a little bit of trouble now with their main guy out of the game.
Well, they played so well, handling the pressure, taking care of the basketball in the first half. In the second half, NC State has picked up the intensity. Big possession here for the Blue Hose.
Yes.
Bell has been quiet tonight. 2 on the shot clock. It's up to him. Little step in. He missed everything. Shot clock violation. And we will head to the break. 55-51. NC State on a run. I know you like the defense, Chucky.
Yeah, I love the defense right here. Batts dropping it off right there after a live ball turnover. Here again, Batts with the steal. Coming down, Torn Dorn with a good, strong finish at the end.
NC State is stormed back here in the second half to take a 55-51 lead, currently on a 13-2 run, and really sparking that for the Wolfpack. Number 2, Torren Dorn, 26 points on Tuesday. You know, we said at halftime Leonard Freeman needed some help. He's gotten that from Torren Dorn. He now has 14 points and 7 rebounds.
Yeah, he's a solid player, and he's a guy that you need out there on the floor because he does a lot of little things. Like that right there,
sure.
Hitting Yurtseven on a wide open back screen.
So give Dorn the assist, and Yurtseven the bucket. The run continues for NC State. The defense is still swarming. Dillard was fouled on the floor, I believe.
Yeah.
Braxton Beverly. You know, it's pretty funny. He got cleared about an hour and a half by the NCAA before the game on Tuesday night. He came out to shoot around. You know, he couldn't believe it at first, and his teammates are like, hey, what are you doing out here? He said, I'm good to go. And so after the game in the press conference, the media, of course, wanted to talk to Braxton Beverly, all the attention that his case had gotten. And Coach Keats was kind of teasing Beverly a little bit, and he said, okay, I'll let Braxton tell you now how he went 1 for 7 in his NC State debut. And he said it when he left, too. He just reminded him, hey, 1 for 7. Now here's Batts. Little finger roll.
Good job by Batts there, finishing that layup at the end, getting the steal. Batts has gotten about 3 steals since he's been in the game.
And now Beverly fouls once again. So quickly he picks up a couple of fouls, but Well, how about LeVar Betts? They really love his athleticism, his quickness, and he can be a real menace in this kind of system playing this defense.
Yeah, he's just coming out being active, having active hands, just playing with a lot of energy, and everyone is feeding off of his energy.
Younger breaks the pressure. Bell is stuffed.
Nice.
That's 5'10" against 7 foot. And Yurt 7 wins that matchup.
Yeah, that time, actually, it was a good move by Bell.
It was a great move.
Yeah, but Yurt 7 was just able to recover right there. When you're 5'10", it's a little tougher to finish in there amongst the trees, and Yurt 7 just got his hand up there and blocked it.
Great move by Devon Bell. I thought, honestly, he had created enough separation.
Yeah, I thought he had him.
Here's Beverly, rhythm 3. And maybe, NC State still hasn't knocked down a Trey.
Right.
Maybe it'll be him. He was 1 for 7. I was telling that story because, understandably, his adrenaline was going. He wasn't mentally prepared to play the game, and all of a sudden he had not just, everything with the being ineligible and now you're finally eligible, but also he is a true freshman. This is his first ever college minutes, and so I believe he just picked up his 3rd foul. Yeah,
Beverly came to the game the other night. I mean, he was in his sweats, probably just coming expecting to cheer his guys on, and then he gets the news that he's playing. So, now everything's changed. But, mentally, it's a different preparation for the game than when, if you're not going to play.
He is known as a very, very good shooter. And NC State could use a little extra shooting, especially from the outside.
Yeah, he didn't shoot the ball well the other night, but he did come in and defend and provide a lot of energy.
Bell will kick to Dillard. And that was one. He hasn't really missed anything that was spot up here today until that shot.
Yeah, that was a good look, too.
Freeman with the blow-by. It's a 10-point NC State lead.
Nice job there by Freeman, knifing to the basket.
Arroyo picked up his dribble and got into trouble, throws it right to Sam Hunt. And a sloppy pass the other way as Hunt lost his footing. Bell, good look-ahead pass, and Dillard will flush it.
Yeah, if you're NC State, that's not what you wanted to see. Presbyterian was struggling getting anything. Now they got a layup to go in. Now we'll see how they react on their next offensive possession.
It's a little 1-3-1 from Presbyterian here.
Yeah, they got a 1-3-1 zone. Yurt 7 is on the baseline of that zone. You can look for some lobs there. That time, Al Freeman hit the 3, which is a much-needed 3 for NC State.
Freeman now into double figures. NC State now 1 of 11. And this is the Wolfpack's largest lead at 11. Dillard. Oh, the crowd wanted a walk. So did Coach Keats. It'll be a foul against Beverly. And just like that, Beverly has picked up 4 fouls in the span of, I don't know, just a couple of minutes here. They've come in a flurry. Yeah. There's the three-pointer. Again, Al Freeman, great three-point shooter at Baylor. They expect he'll get in the rhythm as the season goes along.
Yeah, he'll get in the rhythm. I mean, everyone struggled last game with the 3. NC State has struggled this game with the 3. They'll get it together. You just have to make sure you're taking rhythm 3s and that you're not settling. The inside-out 3 is a good one. Off of an offensive rebound, a nice kick out. That's a good time to get a 3-point shot as well.
That was a 17 foul on NC State, so 1-1 for Dillard. He knocks it down. Presbyterian has committed 8 fouls in the second half. Arroyo comes out, and Withers comes in for PC.
Yeah, I think they're in a 2-3 zone, it looks like. See what they're going to do. NC State has been struggling from the outside.
Hunt's not shy, and Yurt 7 is called for a push.
Yeah. You just can't. You can't reach over the guy and make any type of contact. And that time he did. And if you're NC State, you don't want to foul and put him on the free throw line. And that time it was just a good box out by Dillard, and Yurt 7 just kind of reached over the top.
So obviously the optics of that aren't very good, but you see that replay. There's really not a lot of contact. He's saying, "You saw how long my arms were when I blocked Bell." He's like, "I can reach that without pushing."
Yeah, but
anytime you reach over like that, even if there's not contact, they're going to call.
They're going to call it, and plus Dillard sold the call, and the officials bought it. So he was able to get to the line.
Dillard's having himself a good game. He's got 20 points now.
Yeah, he's been solid. He's been really good. I like his game. He's been really good.
Dillard is on pace, by the way, to be the 4th Blue Hose player to reach the 1,000 point mark in their Division I history.
Wow, that's awesome.
He entered just over 50 points short of it, so he'll get it soon. Nice pass from Johnson to Yurt 7.
Yeah, that play there is there. Anytime they come off that high ball screen, that big has to help, and a good roll will get you that lob each and every time they try that play.
I've been really impressed with his vision tonight, Chucky.
Oh, yeah. Markell has done a really good job the entire season so far.
Dillard all the way down the lane, and Yurt 7 erased it with a second effort. Rebounded up and in by Francois Lewis, who's back out there with the 4 fouls.
Yeah, that time Yurt 7 went over to help, but no one came over to help him and took Francois out of the game.
Another lob, and, well, that's Yurt 7 over Bell again.
Yep, that play is there all night if NC State wants it.
Perhaps Coach Kearns thinking that the game was starting to slip away. He's got to get Francois Lewis back out there, even with the 4 fouls. He's got to be careful. Younger doing a lot of dribbling.
Yeah, that time he was fortunate for Younger that he got fouled because there's a lot of hands going on right there.
Markell Johnson. He's been dishing it out all season long. He finds Yurt 7 for an alley here. Wolfpack up 9. Back with Chucky Brown, I'm Andrew Sanders. You're watching NC State and Presbyterian on the ACC Network Extra. Well, earlier, Chucky, I mentioned NC State has been making some big runs using their defense to spurn them on. Against VMI, 23-4. Charleston Southern, a big 17-0 run to end the first half. And then against Bryant, when they got into trouble in the first half, it was 21-4. Once again tonight, they went on a 22-4 run after halftime.
Right. Well, their pressure was able to cause turnovers. They were able to get live ball turnovers, which has helped NC State get back in the game and also take the lead. So if they can continue to create turnovers, get those live ball turnovers where they can get easy baskets and don't have to set up the offense, because basically the first half, Presbyterian and some of the second half, they've made it hard for NC State to score in the half-court offense, but NC State has found something here with the lobs to Yurt 7 on the other end where they've been able to get easier baskets when they do have to run their half-court offense.
The Younger free throws make it 68-61, so Presbyterian certainly still in this, only trailing by 7. Yurt 7 establishing good post position. And he misses the chippy. Another point-blank miss.
Yeah, well, you see right there, he was fighting really hard for that position.
Yes, he was.
Being a back-to-the-basket. And right there, he's not really, like I said, not really a back-to-the-basket guy. You see him working that hard, and that takes a lot of energy from him. So right there's a time where, you can use that Jack Sigma move. Just keep the ball, keep it high, and a nice little short jump shot because he has a really nice touch, especially around the basket.
It's the 3rd foul on Torin Dorn. It's the 10th team foul. So this will be 2 free throws for Withers. First free throw up and good.
Yeah, if you're Presbyterian, you're down. You want to score with the clock stopped. But NC State, you don't want to foul them and give them opportunities to get closer to you with the clock stop. You want the clock to keep running, and you want to continue to get opportunities if you're NC State to score on the other end.
Yurt 7 out, Leonard Freeman back in. And Dillard fighting for the rebound. A recycle here. Just a 6-point game.
Yeah, good hustle play that time by Dillard.
And we've got whistles all over the place. It was off the ball. Al Freeman.
Yeah, cut to the basket that time by Withers, and Al Freeman just grabbed him. But then again, now Presbyterian is getting an opportunity to make this a 4-point game, and no time run off the clock.
So Withers back to the line. He was a high school quarterback at Fayetteville Academy in Winston-Salem. He's got 6 points tonight.
Yeah, he's a physical player. You can tell he played a little football because he does play a little physical out there.
Dorn thought about throwing it inside to Freeman, then thought better of it.
Yeah, there was a lot of hands in there. That time Freeman was open.
Just nothing going from outside, but there's Leonard Freeman again. It's been Leonard Freeman all night for NC State.
Yeah, they don't have anyone, not in the game right now anyway, that can handle him down there. So he's able to handle him right there. He got his hands on the ball, and Leonard played a little football himself, and he's really good around. He's really good around the basket with that left hand. And again, he finished with the left hand with contact. And again, Leonard Freeman again is leading by example. So you have to feed off of that energy.
He's got 20 points, 6 rebounds. And you know what's interesting? He came into tonight shooting over 82% from the free throw line.
Oh, wow. That's
He's
awesome.
really worked on his stroke from the line in his time off and rehabbing back from energy. And he's 4 for 4 tonight from the charity stripe. And here's a turnover.
Yeah, good job that time by Torrin Dorn by not fouling. Youngner tried to draw the foul, but he couldn't.
Good entry pass by Johnson. Freeman back to the strike.
And there you go again. NC State getting the ball inside in the paint to Leonard Freeman. There's no one in there that can handle him. So when you have an advantage, you need to go ahead and capitalize on that advantage. And Leonard Freeman too big, too strong for anyone out there.
So Freeman to the line. Of course, that was a shooting foul, but it should be noted that was the 10th team foul. So both teams in the double bonus. Freeman continues to backspin it as Arroyo comes out, and Francois Lewis will come back in.
Yeah, Francois Lewis will probably have a little bit of a better matchup with Leonard, but I still don't feel like I think he has 4 fouls, so it'll be tough for him to play like he wants to play against Leonard. So Leonard just needs to continue to play physical.
Long pass ahead, completed to Younger. Not a lot of movement right now by Presbyterian. Shot clock winding down. It's to 5. Johnson came in there and stripped Lewis. Lost the handle, and Dorn is pushed, and they say he was on his way up. The foul is against Francois Lewis.
Yeah, good hands that time by Markel Johnson. Anytime you see a big out there, bigs are not used to putting it on the floor and going to the basket, and Markel did a really good job of stepping in there, getting his hands on the loose ball, creating a fast break opportunity for NC State on the other end.
And pardon me, the foul actually was charged to Dillard, number 14, and that is his 4th. So both Lewis and Dillard are in there with 4s. Dorn's free throw is good. Looking to extend the lead now to 10, and he does.
Good job of breaking the press that time by Presbyterian.
Lewis, a little southpaw stroke, no good. Dillard boards it. And Bell slashes his way through the lane. You know, he's been pretty quiet tonight after exploding for 20 points the last 2 times out. It's just his third and fourth points. Baseline, no. Dorn's put back, yes.
Yes, Dorn right there hanging around the basket. That time, the dribble by Al Freeman coming, penetrating, broke Presbyterian's defense down, and they had to come help and left the boards wide open.
Withers driving right. And swatted by Freeman. Lewis lost his balance, and here come the Wolfpack.
Good block that time by Freeman.
Johnson. Oh, watch out. Whoa. Right down the lane he goes.
Well, we knew he had that ability. We knew he could do it. He just did it that time. Good play.
Chucky, that's a point guard.
That's a point guard. That's a very athletic point guard at that.
Sam Hunt guilty of a foul. So we'll head to break. Markel Johnson right down the lane and into your living room. Get out of the way. The point guard going up. NC State has even distribution scoring the ball, not just tonight, but every game this season. They've had at least 5 in double figures. Leonard Freeman leading the way. He's got a career high now, 21. This is the third time he's set a new career high, by the way, and this is the 4th game of the year. He's gotten some help, and if they're going to get a 5th guy into double figures, Markel Johnson has 6 points right now. He's the next closest. We just saw him go down the lane. He might score a couple more buckets. But what do you think about NC State offensively balanced?
Yeah, that means they're sharing the ball. Everyone's touching it now. Late, like probably the middle of the first half on, they weren't doing that, and now they've gotten back to doing that. And right here, getting the ball to Leonard Freeman, just a good defensive play by Presbyterian that time to get the block. But NC State is sharing the ball, and that's why you have that balanced type scoring, and that's always good for your team when there's a scoring balance.
Lewis comes in, Arroyo out along with Dillard. And into the game for the first time, number 32, Ethan Kay. By the way, that block was by Bell, who's just 5'10", and Batts blows right by Ethan Kay. Welcome to the ball game. LeVar Batts is quicker than just about anybody. Don't feel bad, but Kay couldn't stay in front of him.
Yeah, well, LeVar Batts saw him. He's been sitting there mostly all game, so LeVar Batts knew he couldn't be loose, so he went right at him.
Yeah. Bell comes off a Lewis screen, picked up his dribble. Here's Kay, open in the corner. And away come the Wolfpack. Johnson. Got it into a dangerous position to Freeman, and he scores.
Yep, Leonard Freeman that time. The ball got tipped, but Leonard has such good hands, he just grabbed it and put it right up and was able to finish.
Look. Timeout. Presbyterian. 82-68 our score. We'll be back in a moment. But before we do that, NC State against South Alabama, 7 o'clock tomorrow night. You can watch it right here on the ACC Network. Extra, just use the Watch ESPN app. So, Chucky, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
That's one turnover for me.
All right.
Probably not my first in the game, but we're not going to go to break. We're going to stay right here. Okay. It's going to be a quick break. So 82-68. Positives for both teams. What have you seen tonight?
Positive?
Yes.
Positive for NC State. You know, you were down. You could have hung your head, and you didn't hang your head. You kept fighting. And you produced, now you've had a 14-point lead. So that's the positive for NC State. The positive for Presbyterian, you had 2 of your top players down. And you went into halftime with a 7 or 8 point lead.
Yeah, and 8 points.
Yeah, so you went in halftime with an 8-point lead, and you were able to hang around a little bit with a pretty talented NC State team. So there is a positive for Presbyterian out of this. You know, they hung around, and the score is not really indicative of how tight this game really was.
Johnson going to go ahead and burn some clock here. is really the only time you'll see NC State slow it down.
Right, and that's good to keep the clock running and to slow it down and try to take good shots here at the end.
Good drive from Johnson. He's got 8.
Yeah, Markel is just too big and too athletic for Bell, and that time had him right in the middle. Nice little shot off the off the rim. Nice soft touch.
Presbyterian not in a rush, just trying to run their offense and get better at this early juncture this season, and Younger throws it away. And now Johnson will put an exclamation point on this one. He's now the 5th player in the double figures for NC State. So all 4 games, they've had at least 5.
Yeah, that time he just jumped the passing lane. It's tough to pass the ball around Markel Johnson because he does play the passing lanes very well.
And another turnover. LeVar Batts corrals it. 21 turnovers for Presbyterian tonight.
And NC State had to turn them over to get back in this game because Presbyterian, when they were taking care of the ball, they were getting good shots, and they were knocking them down, and they were able to build a lead.
Lob. Oh, and Freeman too strong on the dunk. And now he's going to just pull this one out. Yeah, you're right. 7 of those turnovers were in the first half, so 14 in the second half. And that NC State defensive pressure, it turned up Coach Keats and Coach Kearns will shake hands. A couple of first-year head coaches with bright futures in front of them. Good ball game tonight. NC State wins it by 18, 86-68. Chucky, your final thoughts?
It showed good character for NC State to be able to come back from behind against Presbyterian. It also showed that Presbyterian, they should show better than last place in the Big South. So look for Presbyterian to finish probably in the middle of the pack of the Big South, because you have UNC Asheville is a good team. You got Campbell, Winthrop. Those are good teams that they're probably not better than, but they put on a good performance today. And NC State, Presbyterian doesn't have to hang their hat, and NC State also, they don't have to hang their hat. They have something to be proud of, both teams.
So NC State will take the victory. Coach Keats improves to 4-0 in Raleigh. The Wolfpack led by Leonard Freeman tonight. 23 points and 7 rebounds. Markel Johnson, 10 points and 7 assists for our fantastic crew here in Raleigh. My partner, Chucky Brown. I'm Andrew Sanders saying so long. Final score, 86-68. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.